Shabbat Shalom, friends.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's so wonderful to be with you in person and on live stream. This is the last Shabbat of 2022. And we take that moment to embrace how this is a unique moment where we are taking in the warmth of Shabbat, and we are resting, and we are preparing ourselves, not only for that week to come, but also for the new year to come. As they say, it's an early Shana Tova to all of you. That means Happy New Year. We are going to express how wonderful it is to be together with words of Hine Matov.
Hine Matov u'manaim shevet kulam kam yachad. Hine Matov u'manaim shevet kulam kam yachad. Hine Matov u'manaim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim 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 shevet kulam gam yachad.
It's my pleasure to invite up Carol to join us as we light the lights of Shabbat, page 120.
Can you go give that to Liz?
Say the blessing first or light them first?
Light him first.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'sivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We turn to our Kabbalat Shabbat. We turn to these songs of praise, beginning with L'chuna Ranana, page 130. 130.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה בזמירות, נריע לו, נקדמה פניו בתודה בזמירות, נריע לו. Page 131. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו. יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה, יאללה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה, יאללה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה.
We read at the bottom of page 132, Or Zarua Letzadik Ul Yisrael Lev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. Righteous, rejoice in God and acclaim God's holy name. We raise a shout to Adonai, all the earth, and break into joyous songs of praise. And we do so calling to mind all of the instruments that lift up music and lift up our souls, and the instruments of our voices as well, with Zamru Ladonai, page 134.
Zamru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor vekozimra. 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 Zamru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor vekozimra.
Psalm 29, page 136.
Mismo LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim. Mismo LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai kavod v'ahor. So let's try from the beginning. Mismo LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Elim. Mizmor leDavid. Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Havul Adonai kavod shemo. Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Havul Adonai kavod shemo. Yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Page 137. Adonai os le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai os le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Adonai os le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai os le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
The mystics reminded us how God has a variety of different emanations, different attributes. And it's on Shabbat in which we welcome the divine feminine, the Shabbat bride. And we do so with those words of Lecha Dodi on page 138 and 139. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, 6. And when we get to verse 9, you are invited to or welcome to rise and face the entrance as we greet our Shabbat bride together.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferet ve'lithilah. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mekedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshavati Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi uri, shidaberi, kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Lecha dodi, lecha
דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתחווי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנת העיר על תהילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please rise.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
At this time, I invite you to welcome each other now that we've welcomed the Shabbat bride and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Molly.
As we gather together once more, we sing one last song for Shabbat.
You may be seated.
You may be seated. One last song for Shabbat, page 140, Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat. 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 Mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom haShabbat.
Page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, אמן. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה ובזמן קריב. ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעולמי המיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשם בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעמה ואמרו אמן.
Please rise.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam vaed.
Please be seated. Top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Arevim. We acknowledge God's love through us through Torah, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadita, Otanu limadita. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu, Hukumenu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. page 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Mi chamocha, page 158. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot, osef eleh, norah tehilot, osef eleh. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot, osef eleh, norah tehilot, osef eleh. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch leolam vaed. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot, osef eleh, norah tehilot, osef eleh. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot, osef eleh, norah tehilot, osef eleh. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo.
גל ישראל. Page 160. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, עמיתנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, עמיתנו שומרנו לחיים.
Ushmo.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam barit olam, Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim va'et ha'aretz uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. We continue our age-old conversation with God, connecting us to generations past. The Amidah begins on page 164. Please rise. Adonai sifetai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalai, lai, lai, 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 yalai, lai, lai. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, we'd like to acknowledge those loved ones in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit. As my eyes meet yours, I invite you to share those names of those loved ones aloud or within your hearts.
Richard Kennemer, Jack Long, Don Gringorton, Bruce Roberts, Stuart Mass, Alfreda Massman, Diane Siegel, Jill Becker, Gail Franco, Melanie Weil, Scott Van Gundy, Ed Stein, Debbie Pink, Jill Jacknow, Dave Stahl, Greg Herb, Ellen Herb, Murray Siegel, Lonnie Goldman, Ian Solomon, Richard Ravitch, former member of Shir Hadash, Bernice Paris, mother of Carol Paris, Adam Kaufman, Ian Ballard, friend of Allison Turner, Franklin Wolfson, son-in-law of Susan Deniston, Marcille Cunningham, mother of Liz Herman, Varda Sachi, mother of Nava Bernstein, and Solomon Isips, father of Greg Isips. The Mishaberach is found on page 371. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So I know at the beginning of the service I said Shana Tova in jest. But in many ways, this season is similar to the High Holy Days. Because this, well, it is quieter. It's quieter for you and I. But this is the time of year that we also take a moment to review the year, to think about all of those experiences that have shaped our lives. And it's also that time of year in which we strive to be and do better. Now, as 2022 comes to a close, we are reminded that this season provides these opportunities, as I said. And after years of navigating uncertainty and unknown, much of 2022 has felt, in my opinion, as normal can really be these days, dare I say. Berdine is shaking her head. I might as well just stop, because if I have Berdine's disapproval, as normal can be. In the Jewish world, this normal, though, has been fraught with political strife, elections, and court decisions, both in the U.S. and Israel, that have challenged our Jewish values. an increasing rise and prominence of anti-Semitism, a war between Ukraine and Russia that has directly impacted the homes of many. So we take a moment to review this year, 2022. Now, we began the year with the events in Colleyville, Texas, where an armed British citizen who believed that Jews were controlling the government and wanted a terrorist released from prison took Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker and 3 congregants hostage. And as we know, after 11 hours, when Rabbi Citron Walker feared that the gunman was ready to kill them, he threw a chair to create a distraction that allowed all of the hostages to flee. Now, anti-Semitic rhetoric didn't stop there this year. Kanye West, who refers to himself as Ye, used a series of media appearances to express a broad range and depth of anti-Semitic conspiracies. All of this led to ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt to call him the most well-known, widely heard, brazen anti-Semite on the planet. We also had NBA player Kyrie Irving, who lauded an anti-Semitic film, and it took weeks to apologize. Now, we know that because of social media that allows anybody to express anything at any time, Kanye and Kyrie were able to broadcast their views to millions of followers. We know that social media has allowed those with a platform to give anti-Semitism social legitimacy. And let's not forget about the ongoing rise in gun violence. In particular, we remember those lives taken at an Independence Day celebration in Highland Park, Illinois, which included members of the Jewish community. As our Reform movement leaders reminded us, with each massacre, the freedom to gather, pray, shop, learn, and simply be free from fear of gun violence was taken away. This year, we also experienced the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which shook many of us to the core, stripping fundamental rights away from women, disregarding the Jewish values of B'Tselem Elohim and Pikuat HaNefesh. Now, we know that our tradition places paramount value on choosing life and mandates, not as a right, but as a responsibility, safeguarding our own lives and the lives of others by behaving in a healthy and secure manner, by doing everything in our power to save lives and refraining from endangering others. This concern for even potential life extends to the unborn fetus and to the terminally ill. Close to home, controversy erupted at University of California, Berkeley Law School this fall over the decision by 9 student groups to adopt bylaws that would ban Zionist speakers. At Harvard, an editorial in Harvard Crimson endorsing the BDS movement inspired countercolumns pointing out the anti-Semitic movement's mission to eliminate Israel. The Biden administration and lawmakers from both sides of the aisle also condemned a report from Amnesty International that repeatedly tried to stigmatize Israel and delegitimize its existence. Now, friends, that was a lot. And unfortunately, these stories that I have mentioned this Shabbat are just the tip of the iceberg of those stories that significantly impacted the world and us as Jews. And we are also, unfortunately, too aware of how these events tend to overshadow the good that has come from this year. Some of the good. Amidst the fight between Russia and Ukraine, we find President Volodymyr Zelensky, who has been deemed a Jewish hero. He's now the face of Time Magazine's Person of the Year, because in the days of war and uncertainty, the fact that a Jew has come to represent the fighting spirit of Ukraine has provided a kind of hope that is unique and special within its own right. We also celebrated the 50th anniversary of Rabbi Sally Prieston's ordination as the first American female rabbi, and we know that her ordination paved the way for our own Rabbi Aaron and Cantorfelder Levy to become leaders within our tradition. Deborah Lipstadt was confirmed by the U.S. Senate on March 30th, 2022, as the special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism with the rank of ambassador. As special envoy, she leads efforts to advance U.S. foreign policy to counter anti-Semitism throughout the world. And when a rural Tennessee school pulled the celebrated Holocaust graphic novel Mouse from the district's curriculum, backlash was swift. As a result, a local comic book store gave away the book for free to every student in the county, and a nearby church held a discussion on its themes, and a college professor offered free classes on the book to students in the county. Even the author Zoomed with locals. So friends, there's no doubt that our lives have been changed this year. This has been a year filled with tragedy, but also a year filled with hope. And even though those Hanukkah candles last burned on Sunday, I hope that in the year to come, our lights continue to shine, advocating for justice, peace, and compassion. Shabbat Shalom, and Happy New Year. We will continue with words of the Hashivota on page 588. We rise as our ark is opened. And James and Leah, if you want to help open the ark, that would be great. Thanks, guys. Hashevota Elivavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim V'Hashevota Elivavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim Ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. If you are within the first 7 days of mourning, Shiva, I invite you to rise and share with us who you are remembering on this Shabbat. If you are in the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise and share with us who you are remembering on this Shabbat. If you are in the cycle of the first year of mourning, please rise and share with us who you are remembering.
Mimi Levy.
And if you have a yard site on this Shabbat, an anniversary of somebody's passing, please rise and share with us who you are remembering.
My grandmother, Jean K. May.
The congregation offers its condolences to Lindy Keelan on the death of her uncle, Merle Greenwald, and Aunt Claire London, to Tamara Herman on the death of her ex-husband, Drago Herman, to Marvin and Raina Lombard on the death of his mother and her mother-in-law, Barbara Lombard, and to Yvette Levine and their family on the death of her husband, our member, Howard Levine. Bryce Lyon, Edna Stone, Miriam Davis, Lauren Janovich, Michael Clark, Janet Woe, Charlene Kilgore, Ezra Sachi, Gideon Hoffer, Alvin Kramer Siegel, Velasta Vizhanovich, Galina Butorina, Karen M. Belzano, Lillian Berman, Robert Bruce Myers, Abraham Karras, Scott Safadi, Norman Green, Marilyn Silverman, Leslie Heinal, Paulette Sofin, David Green, Jeannie Porish, Estelle Abrams, Spencer Caney, Arthur Cherdak, John Ivers, Marilyn Handelman, Kay Damron, Nira Marome, Andrea Cameron, Ziba Feruzin, Rosella Newton, Linda Sherry, Fred DeCastro, Sherry Skihan, Larry Eisen, Harry Gross, Michael Tubb, David Schwartz, Rhoda Fryman, Elliot Foner Lipsitz, Ron Wolk, Adina Neer, Tamara Noten, Mimi Levy, James C. Price, Colette Kaplowitz, Rita Smith, David Corman, Abraham Sonnenschein, Avalon Master, Ben Katzman, Benjamin Dorsey, Harry Grossman, Helen Fabe, Ike Ottenheimer, Marion Jacknow, Martin Bernard Stark. And now you can support our community by standing or sitting, joining us with your voices or your hearts for Kaddish Avelut, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei lekudesha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the memories of your dear ones always be a blessing in your life and to all of your loved ones. Yehei zichram baruch. You may be seated.
Amen. It's our pleasure to invite up Liz Morelli to share with us some announcements.
Alrighty, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
I am going to highlight just a few announcements, but you can see all of them on the back of your handout, and you can find all of the events on our website calendar. So this week, tomorrow, December 31st at 9:30 in the morning, we have Torah study in the chapel. Shabbat morning services will follow at 10:30 a.m. On Monday, January 2nd, the Shir Hadash office and the ECC will both be closed for New Year's Day. Wednesday, January 4th at 10:30 in the morning, there's a free meditation class taught by Shir Hadash member Marilyn Katz, and that'll be via Zoom. On Thursday the 5th at 11:30, we have Nashim, Remarkable Jewish Women, the lecture and lunch, and you can register for that on the website too. We also have a lot of exciting programs coming up in 2023, and I will highlight a few as well. On Tuesday, the 10th of January at 7 p.m., there will be a special conversation with author Daniel Sokach. You can register for that on the website. On the 15th of January, which is a Sunday at 9 a.m., we'll be having our mitzvah day, and registration for that will open up in January. On the 25th of January, a Sunday at 6:30 p.m., there will be a new song sing-along session. You can come and learn new Shabbat songs, and registration can be found on the website for that too. And then on Friday, February 3rd at 6:15, we'll have Shabbat Shira with our choir. And then on the 10th and 11th, we will have our scholar in residence with Rabbi Dr. Shmuley Yanklowitz. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Lots of things coming up in the new year. So we're going to continue with Kiddush. You can find it in our prayer book on page 122 and 123. Vayeleh vayvoker yom hashishi, vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am, vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i, melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i, mikol melachto asher asa, vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i, vayekadesh oto, ki vo shavat mikol melachto, asher bara Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemahase v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim.
On this Shabbat we are, is this still on? There we go. On this Shabbat we are reminded of what it means to bring our light unto the world and for us to shine our light in the year to come. May all of us have a wonderful, wonderful new year, and may all good things happen in 2023. Adonai oz le'amo yitin, Adonai yivarech et hamo v'shalom. Shabbat shalom. We are going to conclude with Adon Olam on page 625 to a melody that is quite appropriate as we enter the new year.
And we invite you to rise and join us.
Please rise. 625.
Adon Olam Hashem alach v'terem kol yitzir nivra li'itnasa v'chefso kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove ve'hu yeh betifara ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni להמשיל לו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, בצור חבלי בצרה. והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. בידו אף כי רוחי, בית תישן ועירה. ואם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.